Today, we're diving into 20 incredible, automatic, and often invisible mechanisms that your body activates when it believes you are in grave danger. We are going to explore the cascade of events that turns an ordinary person into a potential survivor, from the first chemical signal to the final physical feat, so get ready to understand your own body in a way you never have before. Fact 1. The amygdala hijack. This is the very first thing to happen, and it happens faster than conscious thought. The amygdala, your threat detector, bypasses your rational brain, the prefrontal cortex. It essentially hijacks the controls. This is why you might leap out of the way of a car before you even consciously register that the car is there. Your emotional, reactive brain takes over from your logical, thinking brain. As a trade-off, you lose complex reasoning, but you gain life-saving reaction speed. This is your body choosing to act first and ask questions later. Fact 2. The hormone cascade. Once the amygdala pulls the alarm, it signals the release of a powerful chemical cocktail into your bloodstream. The two most famous ingredients are adrenaline, also known as epinephrine, and cortisol. Adrenaline is for the immediate crisis. It instantly increases your heart rate, boosts the oxygen and glucose flowing to your muscles and brain, and gets you ready for an explosive burst of energy. Cortisol, the stress hormone, works on a slightly slower timeline. Its job is to keep you on high alert for a longer period, sustaining your energy levels and ensuring your body is ready for a prolonged threat. It's a 1-2 punch that supercharges your entire system. Fact 3. The illusion of slow motion. This is one of the most profound and common experiences in a high-stakes situation. It's a phenomenon called tachypsychia. Time doesn't actually slow down, but your perception of it does. Fueled by that hormone cascade, your brain begins to process information at an incredibly high speed. It's like switching your internal camera from shooting at 24 frames per second to 240 frames per second. Because you're recording so many more details in each moment, when your memory plays it back, it feels stretched out, as if it all happened in slow motion. This gives you more apparent time to react and make decisions. Fact 4. The focus of a predator. As your brain speeds up, your senses begin to narrow. The most obvious change is in your vision. You experience what's known as tunnel vision. Your brain decides that whatever is in front of you is the threat, and everything else is irrelevant. Your peripheral vision fades away, and your focus becomes incredibly sharp, locked onto the source of the danger. This is an evolutionary holdover from both predator and prey behaviors. It allows a predator to focus solely on its target, and it allows prey to focus solely on the escape route, without being distracted by non-critical information on the sides. Fact 5. The world goes silent. Just like your vision, your hearing is also dramatically altered. This is called auditory exclusion. In a moment of extreme stress, your brain can filter out sounds it deems unimportant. You might not hear people shouting your name, the blare of a siren, or other background noises. All your auditory processing power is dedicated to sounds directly related to the threat, like the growl of an animal or the skidding of tires. In some cases, people report the world going completely silent, as their brain dedicates 100% of its resources to visual processing and internal thought to solve the immediate problem. Fact 6. A surge of raw power. You've heard stories of people performing incredible feats of strength in a crisis, like lifting impossibly heavy objects to free someone. This isn't a myth. It's a direct result of the adrenaline flood. Under normal circumstances, your brain puts strict safety limits on your muscles to prevent them from tearing themselves apart by contracting too hard. It's a built-in limiter. But in a life or departure situation, adrenaline can override those safety protocols. It allows your muscles to contract with their full, unrestrained potential. This gives you a temporary burst of what feels like superhuman strength, sacrificing long-term safety for immediate survival. Fact 7. The numbness of survival. While your muscles are getting this incredible boost, something else is happening to make sure you can actually use it, even if you get hurt. Your brain releases its own internally produced painkillers called endorphins. These are powerful chemicals, structurally similar to opiates, and their job is to block pain signals. This is called stress-induced analgesia. It's an incredible survival mechanism. In a critical moment, pain is just distracting information. The ability to ignore a serious injury for a few minutes might be the difference between escaping and being caught. People in accidents often report not feeling any pain at all until long after the danger has passed and they are safe. That's your body's personal medical kit kicking in, numbing you so you can focus on the one thing that matters: staying on this plane of existence. Fact 8. The Great Blood Rerouting. To fuel that surge of power and keep your brain sharp, your body performs an amazing feat of internal logistics. It's called vascular shunting. Your circulatory system dramatically reroutes blood flow. It constricts blood vessels in areas that are non-essential for immediate survival, like your skin and your digestive system. This is why people often go pale with fright. The blood has literally left the surface of their skin. At the same time, it dilates the vessels leading to the most critical areas: your large muscle groups in your arms and legs, your heart, and your brain. It's a triage system for your blood, ensuring that all the oxygen and energy are sent exactly where they're needed for a fight or a flight. Your stomach can wait, but your legs need to run right now. Fact 9. The high-octane fuel dump. Your muscles and brain are demanding a massive amount of energy, and your body has a way to provide it instantly. In response to the hormone signals, your liver gets a command to perform something called glycogenolysis. This is a fancy word for dumping all of its stored sugar or glycogen directly into your bloodstream in the form of glucose. This is pure, fast-acting fuel. At the same time, fat cells begin to break down and release their contents into the blood, a process called lipolysis. This provides a secondary, longer-lasting energy source. It's the biological equivalent of hitting a nitro boost in a race car. You get an immediate, explosive surge of readily available energy, allowing for peak physical performance when you need it most. Fact 10. The preemptive cooling system. With all this energy being burned, your body anticipates a huge problem: overheating. A body pushed to its absolute physical limits will generate an immense amount of heat, which can be dangerous. So, your nervous system activates your sweat glands preemptively. This is why you can get cold, clammy sweats when you're scared, even if you haven't moved an inch. Your body is predicting that you're about to engage in a massive physical struggle, and it's starting the cooling process early to stay ahead of the curve. It's another example of your body's incredible ability to anticipate the needs of a crisis before it even fully unfolds. Fact 11. The airways open wide. To burn all that fuel, you need a massive amount of oxygen. So, another automatic response kicks in: bronchodilation. The smooth muscles lining the airways in your lungs, called the bronchioles, relax and expand. This widening of your air passages allows you to pull in significantly more oxygen with every single breath. Your breathing rate also increases, becoming faster and shallower. The combination of wider airways and faster breathing floods your blood with the oxygen needed to power your supercharged muscles and keep your brain functioning at high speed. It's like opening up the air intake on an engine to get maximum performance. Fact 12. The eyes become windows. Along with the tunnel vision we mentioned earlier, another crucial change happens in your eyes. Your pupils dilate, becoming much larger. This is known as mydriasis. The purpose is simple and brilliant: to let in as much light as possible. This adaptation is incredibly useful, enhancing your vision in low-light conditions and allowing you to gather more visual data from your environment. A wider pupil gives you a clearer, brighter picture of the threat and your potential escape routes. It's part of the full sensory upgrade package, ensuring that your most critical sense, your sight, is operating at its absolute peak. Fact 13. The unforgettable memory stamp. Your brain is not just focused on getting you through the current crisis. It's also laser-focused on preventing it from ever happening again. The amygdala, which started this whole cascade, works in close partnership with the hippocampus, your brain's memory-making center. Together, they ensure that the memory of this dangerous event is encoded with incredible strength and detail. This is what creates a flashbulb memory, a memory that is intensely vivid, detailed, and emotionally charged. You might remember the exact sound, the specific smell, the look on someone's face. This isn't for nostalgia. It's a powerful learning mechanism. The intense emotional tag on the memory serves as a permanent, internal warning sign, ensuring you recognize and avoid similar situations in the future. It's your brain's way of saying, we are never, ever doing that again. Fact 14. The ghost of our fur. Have you ever wondered why you get goosebumps when you are scared? It seems like a useless reaction. This is a fascinating evolutionary echo called piloerection. For our ancient, much hairier ancestors, this reaction served two vital purposes. First, by making every hair stand on end, it fluffed up their coat, making them appear larger and more intimidating to a potential predator. Think of a startled cat. Second, the layer of upright hair trapped more air, providing better insulation against a sudden drop in temperature or the cold shock of a dangerous situation. While we have lost most of our body hair, the tiny muscles at the base of each hair follicle, the erector pili, still contract on command from the sympathetic nervous system. It's a ghostly reminder of our wild past, a primal instinct that has lost its function but not its trigger. Fact 15. Internal damage control. Your body isn't just preparing for a fight or flight. It's also preparing for the potential consequences of that fight. It anticipates injury. In response to the alarm, your blood itself begins to change. Your liver releases clotting factors, and your blood platelets, the tiny cell fragments responsible for plugging wounds, become stickier. This essentially primes your entire circulatory system for emergency first aid. If you are cut or wounded during the ordeal, your blood is ready to clot much faster than usual, minimizing blood loss and sealing the injury quickly. It's an incredible preemptive measure, turning your bloodstream into a rapid response team before any damage has even occurred. Fact 16. The unnecessary systems shut down. We mentioned that blood is shunted away from your digestive system, but the effect is more profound than just that. Your body actively shuts down all non-essential operations. Salivation stops, which is why your mouth goes completely dry when you're terrified. The muscular contractions that move food through your intestines, called peristalsis, cease. Digestion is an energy-intensive process, and in a crisis, that energy is needed elsewhere. In very extreme cases of terror, the body may even take the final step to make itself as light and unencumbered as possible for a desperate escape. This can involve the involuntary voiding of the bladder and bowels. While unsettling, it's a stark illustration of the body's absolute commitment to survival above all else. Comfort, dignity, and hunger are all luxuries that can be dealt with later. Right now, the only goal is speed. Fact 17. The power of stillness. We talk endlessly about fight or flight, but there is a third equally important and incredibly common response: freeze. This isn't a sign of cowardice or indecision. It's a highly evolved survival strategy. For many animals, and for our own ancestors, the best way to survive an encounter with a predator was to not be seen at all. The freeze response is an instant, involuntary halt of all movement. Your body becomes rigid, your breathing may become incredibly shallow, and your heart rate, paradoxically, can plummet. This is caused by the simultaneous, high-intensity activation of both the sympathetic, gas pedal, and parasympathetic, brake pedal nervous systems. You are primed for explosive action, but you are also being held in check. This state of hypervigilant stillness allows you to assess the situation without drawing attention to yourself, waiting for the perfect moment to either flee or fight. It's the moment of terrifying calm before the storm. Fact 18. The mind's escape hatch. Sometimes, a threat is so overwhelming, so intense, that the physical responses are not enough. The mind itself needs an escape. This is when a profound psychological defense mechanism can kick in: dissociation. People who experience this often describe it as feeling like they are watching a movie of themselves. There's a sense of detachment, of being an observer rather than a participant. This state, sometimes called depersonalization, is the brain's ultimate emergency measure to protect your conscious mind from a level of trauma it cannot process. It insulates you from extreme fear and pain, allowing you to function with a strange, cold clarity. In situations where there is no physical escape, the mind creates one for itself, a temporary retreat that can be the key to enduring the unendurable. Fact 19. The alliance for survival. Not every threat is meant to be faced alone, and not every response is about fighting or fleeing. There is another powerful, ancient instinct known as the tend and befriend response. This strategy is driven by a different hormone, oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone. When faced with a threat, particularly one that is not immediate and violent, this instinct can override the pure adrenaline rush. The tend part involves protecting offspring or the vulnerable members of a group. It's the powerful urge to shield a child or help an injured friend. The befriend part is the instinct to seek safety in numbers, to form social bonds, and to create a stronger, more resilient group. It's a reminder that for a social species like ours, our greatest strength has often been each other. This response turns a group of panicked individuals into a cooperative team, dramatically increasing everyone's chances of getting through the ordeal. Fact 20. The aftershock and reset. The danger has passed. You've escaped. You're safe. But now you can't stop shaking. Your hands tremble, your knees feel weak, and your teeth chatter. This isn't a sign of weakness. It's the final, crucial stage of the survival sequence. The uncontrollable tremors are your body's way of physically discharging the immense amount of energy and stress hormones that were just pumped into your system. All that adrenaline and cortisol, all that potential energy coiled in your muscles for the fight or flight, has to go somewhere. The shaking is a neurogenic tremor that literally burns off the excess chemicals and releases the deep muscular tension. It is the body's natural and essential reset button. It's the process of coming down from the most intense experience your body can create, allowing your nervous system to slowly, carefully shift out of crisis mode and back to a state of normal. It is the violent, trembling sigh of relief from every cell in your body.